Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be talking about 32 things that I've learned in my 32 years of life. Cannot believe I'm 32. I feel like when I was a teenager, 32 seemed so old. But now that I'm 32, it doesn't seem that old. But anyway, that's what we're going to be talking about. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump into it. The first thing is, don't always assume the worst in any situation. I feel like if you just kind of hope for the best and wait to see how things are going to play out, you feel better, you don't stress. I know that it's hard to do, especially on some situations, to not automatically assume the worst. But as I get older, I really feel like I'm trying to just see the best in every situation, especially while I wait for an outcome. Number 2 is do what is best for you. When it comes to your health, your career, your relationships, you have to do what feels right for yourself. You can't worry about what other people think, how other people feel about the situation. You have to do what feels best for you and your soul. Number 3 is believe in yourself even when no one else does. I feel like when I started kind of doing makeup videos, there weren't a lot of people that were like, hey, yeah, like this seems like a great idea. But now that it's kind of growing, everyone's like, yeah, this is awesome. But if I would not have believed in myself along the way before everyone else thought it was so cool and like such an awesome things to do, I wouldn't probably be sitting here right now. So believe in yourself, always be your biggest supporter. It's the best thing you can do for yourself. The next thing is have a few really good friends over a lot of shitty friends. Literally, the older that I get, the more important this becomes. It is so important to have 3 or 4 or 5 friends who are going to support you through everything, rather than having like 100 friends who won't support you in anything. Which leads me to my next point. Have a best friend. Have someone who is there for you no matter what, who you can tell anything to, who you can confide in, who can share your struggles, who can share not only your struggles, but the good times. I am so thankful for my best friend. She helps me through when I'm feeling anxious, when I feel like this whole makeup artist career isn't going how I want it to go. She is there to pick me up. She's there to carry me. Me and her have been through the worst of times. And when I say the worst, I literally mean the worst of times. And we have been through the best of times. Jessica Marie, I could not imagine my life without you. I absolutely love you with everything inside of me. You, my friend, are my soulmate. The next thing is never, ever take for granted your family. I understand not all family is close-knit. I understand not all family gets along. But if you do have a family member or 2, or your entire family gets along and you all are close, do not take that for granted. I have lost, in the last year and a half, I have lost both of my grandparents. I realize every single day, I think about so often times that I could have been spending time with them, or I could have been with them, and I chose to do other things. So never ever take your family for granted. The next thing is stand up for yourself in work, in relationships. Have your own back. Again, I feel like a lot of situations in my life, I feel like I've kind of just had to have my own back. I feel like, especially with starting makeup and starting a YouTube channel, I've had to kind of have my own back and be like, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm going for. And even in relationships, when you're passionate about something, when you're strong about something, have your own back yourself up, but have reasons as to why you're backing yourself up. Not only in relationships, but in work as well. Like, have your own back, but also have a reason as to why you have your own back. Why this is what you want to happen, why this is how you feel this way about it. Feel that way, and it's great to feel that way, but support it. My next thing is relationships. I have learned that relationships are the hardest at even the very best of times. I feel like relationships are something that you will work the hardest at. I feel like relationships are something that you will put the most effort into, but I also feel like that they are the most rewarding thing. It's so worth it to work hard for a relationship and to see the outcome that you get from that. So again, relationships are hard. They can be messy, they can be stressful, but if you just work and pursue them, they are so worth it. My next one is, and it's a tough one. It's one that I don't like to do a lot. It's one that nobody probably likes to do, but it's realizing your own flaws and working through them. The older that I get and the more mature that I become, I realize that every single person has flaws. It's not something that I like to go around and admit and say, oh yeah, I'm terrible at this, or oh yeah, I'm awful at this. I'm awful at calling people back, or I'm awful at promoting my business. I don't like to admit those things. But I feel like with age and with maturity, I've learned that the older that you get, it's not maybe necessarily easier to admit flaws, but it's easier to work through them. My next point is to be less judgmental. Every single person is going through something. Every single person has a fight that they're fighting that you don't know about. Lots of people will tell you their business, but it won't be the full business. Every single person in this planet hides something back. Even if they're the most open person that you know, even if they like to share their feelings, every single person has something that they hold back that they don't want to tell the rest of the world for whatever reason. So be very careful with your judgments. Everybody judges. Everybody has judged someone in their life, but be careful. Before you comment on an Instagram post and say, you're fat, you're ugly, you're not worth anything. Those, for one, those are awful things to say, but you don't know what that person is dealing with. Before you comment on a Facebook post and say, oh yeah, I remember when you didn't blend your bronzer the right way, or I remember when you did this or you did that. You do not know what a person is facing or how that affects a person. So as I grow and as I get older, I've realized that judgment is just not my place. The next thing is encourage people and realize other people's beauty and talents and gifts. Every single person is blessed with something that they are amazing at. I believe that with everything in me. Some people have a few things that they completely excel in, but I feel like telling people you're great at this, you excel in that, is amazing. Encourage people in the things that you can see that they're good at. Let people know how awesome and beautiful and talented they are. Realize that people make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. Not everyone likes to admit their mistakes, but everyone makes mistakes. Just because I handle something one way and you handle something another way doesn't mean that either one of us are wrong. But it makes me, I guess, realize as I've gotten older that every single person messes up and that we see it differently. So realize that you mess up, I mess up, everyone messes up. It's moving on and fixing it that makes it better. The next thing that I've learned is that we have a tendency as adults, as teenagers, as young adults, as elders, we have a tendency to judge people based on their actions and judge ourselves based on our intentions. I feel like if I said, oh yeah, you're not that great at this, but you are wonderful at that, like the way that I said it, you can take that really wrong. But if you said that to me, I could be very hurt and offended by it. I feel like we just need to be more accepting of the way that people come at us, the way that people relay things to us. Take that into the same way that you would say something to someone else. The next one, and it's a good one. Do not, I cannot stress this enough. Do not be worried about what other people think of you. Absolutely do not ever be worried about what another person thinks about you. That will get you nowhere. It will hinder you from your full and true potential. And a lot of times people throw comments out there to us that don't even know us. Again, that don't know our backstory, that don't know what we've been through, that don't know where we started from. Do not let the opinions of others affect you. The next one is own who you are 100%. It kind of ties into the one before this. Own who you are. Be a rock star in whatever it is you're doing. Shine as bright as you can. Just own it. I'm a makeup artist. It's who I am. It's what I do. It's what I love. It's what I feel like I'm good at. And I own it. I am starting to own it more and more every day and just become more comfortable with who I am and who I am as an artist. I like bright colored makeup. I'm loud. I'm obnoxious. This is who I am. And the older that I get, the more I'm starting to just own who I am as a person. The next thing that I learned are experiences are more valuable than possessions. I would take 1,000,000 experiences before I would take 1,000,000 possessions, because experiences last a lifetime. You always have those memories of things. Possessions, they wear out. We get tired of them. They break. They just aren't important to us anymore. So experiences over possessions, 100%. The next thing that I have learned in my life, this is thing like 18 or 19, are that confidence is so beautiful and so powerful. And if you lack confidence, girl, fake it until you make it. I swear, the very first time a couple of years ago when I started doing live makeup videos, my confidence level was at a 0. But literally I pushed through and I faked it like I was the most confident person in the entire world until I got to the point where I did feel comfortable, to where I did feel comfortable telling people, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is what I stand for. Be confident. It is so powerful to just be a confident person and not to know that no one can take that away from you. The next thing that I've learned is that most bad behavior and ill intentions stems from jealousy. I hate to say that I've experienced this, but would it be on my list of 32 things I've learned if I hadn't experienced it? I get nasty, rude comments on Instagram a lot, and especially the more that my Instagram grows, from just people who I know it stems from like a jealousy mindset. There is no reason to be jealous or hateful of anyone when the world is made big enough for all of us to shine in the things that we're great at, for all of us to excel in things that we're great at. So when you get nasty and rude and hateful comments, just know that that deep down stems from some sort of jealousy. The next thing that I have learned, and is also a hard one for me, is that people will make time for you if you are important to them. If you are not important to them, they will not make time for you. And as awful as it sounds, it literally is like a punch in the gut. A couple of weeks ago, I experienced this firsthand. It's not the first time that I've experienced it in my lifetime, but it really, just a couple weeks ago, kind of hit me hard. And I was like, wow, I was so valuable to this person when they could gain all of this, when they could gain from me, I was very valuable to them. Now that I'm not such a value, or I can't bring this person what they need from me, I'm not so much of a priority to them anymore. So things like that, people that don't make you feel like you're a priority, that don't make time for you, cut those people loose and move on. The next thing is never walk away from someone that you love, mad or angry. I know that people get upset and sometimes you need to walk away, but I feel like in life it is so important to come back and work that out as quickly as possible. I've had times and gaps in my life where me and certain people didn't get along, but that person meant the world to me. So getting some closure and finding an end to the conflict with that person and letting them know, hey, I love you, I don't want this to happen, is so, so important, because life is so short and people are gone so quick. And the next thing is, you are a combination of the 3 to 5 people that you surround yourself with the most. If you're hanging around with negative people who just run themselves down or that judge other people constantly, you're going to become that. I want my business to be successful. I want to become successful by my own standards. So I surround myself with people who are going to encourage me, because I want to know that I am doing the same for those people. The next thing is, and it's such a simple one, but I feel like it's something that people just push off. Always, always, always trust your gut. It is always right. Believe that feeling that is inside of you, because it's right, man. I mean, there's just no, basically what you hear is what you get right now. Trust your gut, bottom line, that's it. The next one is, when you find your calling, and you will know, all this amazing, magical stuff will start to happen. You will just find this happiness when it comes to this thing. You will be eager to do it at any time, even when you're tired. You will be eager to talk about it. When you're tired, when you have a million other things going on, it will be the thing that just makes you happy, man. You will feel great. You'll want to talk about it. You'll want to tell everyone about it. It'll just become such a big part of your world. And I swear things will just slowly start to fall into place. The next one is, always search for a person that you don't have to be anything other than who you truly are with. This person for me is my husband. I have a lot of scars from my car wreck that I'm not really eager to share these things with a lot of people, just because it's something that I've struggled with. It has been a hard thing for me, but with him, he sees those things and he tells me how beautiful they are, or he tells me that it's something that I survived, so I should be proud of. So just having a person that you can just be your true self with, where you can just not wear makeup or have messy hair or have bad breath or just show your scars, have that person, because that person is so important. The next one is something that I wish that I reminded myself of when I was younger, but it's, what lasting impression are you making on people? I know as I was younger, I did a lot of things that I'm not necessarily proud of. I treated people in ways that I'm not proud of, but I feel like I'm doing lots of things to try to fix that now as an adult. So what lasting impression are you making on people? If you died tomorrow, what are people going to remember you as? What are people going to say about you? What are people going to say about you even if you don't die? If you get brought up in a conversation, is someone going to say, oh, that person's awful? Or, oh, yeah, so-and-so is such a delight. I feel like the impression that you make upon people, that you make for your brand, or even just yourself in general, is so important. You want people to think of you highly, especially if you're marketing yourself out there as a business. You want people to be like, oh yeah, so-and-so was so great. So-and-so handled their business like a pro. Or just so-and-so treated me so well. They held the door for me. They were nice to my child. What are people seeing you as, and what will they remember you by? The next thing is, there isn't a one-size-fits-all approach to health and wellness in the world. I have learned this because I am not the same size as a lot of influencers in the YouTube community, along with makeup artists. But I try very hard to do what is best for my body and my well-being. If you can do just one thing every single day that's gonna benefit your mind, body, soul, spirit, skin, hair, anything, you've got it going on. Even if it's just starting a new skincare routine, or if it's praying or reading a Bible or going to church or something, eating right, visiting the gym, one thing a day, girl, you're good to go. This is something I wish I would have started doing a very long time ago, but it's something that I become more mindful of as I get older. But start these healthy habits as soon as you can, because it's easier to start them young and then it just be something that you do as you get older, rather than having to kind of retrain your brain and rethink and get into them later in life. Number 30 is create your own definition of success. I cannot judge my career on YouTube, on Instagram, on anything based on what other people are doing. For one, if I sit and focus on how many numbers this person has or that person has, I am going to drive myself insane. I've been there, I've tried that, I've done that, it's not worth it. I can literally only base my success on what I tell my brain the definition of success is. So when I started on Instagram, 500 followers, reaching 1,000, yay, that's awesome. Reaching 2,000, reaching 10,000. Now I'm up to 13,000. In my brain, that is successful to me. My YouTube, when I started, I had a good for a long time, like 230 subscribers. Now I'm up to like 1,200. That in my brain is successful. I celebrate the small victories in my life rather than basing what I'm doing off of other people. The next thing is kind of a selfish one, I guess. I mean, it's not really selfish, but it feels good for both people involved. Helping other people, giving freely is so amazing. Like, it is the best feeling. When you do it without any hidden intentions, when you do it just to be a kind, decent person, it is the best feeling. But also in that, receive the compliments that they give you freely as well. Because those compliments that a person gives you, oh, you're doing amazing, oh, it was so nice of you, that stuff feels so amazing. So give and receive freely. And the last one, number 32, is to avoid getting yourself into situations that you will have to back away from. And it could be anything. If it doesn't feel right, don't get yourself into it. Do your research on that specific thing. Investigate it. Find out the ins and outs about it before you get yourself into a situation that you cannot get away from. And if you are in a situation like that now, honestly, hands down, it may be best to just get away. All right, guys. Whew. So that was it. 32 things that I've learned in my 32 years. Can I go back to telling people I'm 29 now? No, I'm just kidding. But that's it. Like, just some life lessons. I hope that you guys learned something today. I hope that you can take some of this away with you and be like, yeah, she had some good points. Let me know in the comments below what your life lessons are, things that you've learned in however many years that you've been alive. Let me know if you have learned any of these same things, if you've been through any of this stuff. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Please be kind to one another, love each other, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.